Hi there, everyone. When I was a much younger man on the job site, I tried desperately to separate myself from the old timers on the job site. One of the sticking points on the job was the utility knife. A lot of people were using this style of utility knife, something that you had to get a screwdriver and take out a screw, open it up, and then pop in blades and then put the screw back in. It was so slow. Plus, the thing is that utility knives, they ended up all over the job site. You never had it when you needed it because somebody stole your utility knife. I wanted to get out of that dogma. Now, here's the deal. This style of utility knife isn't prevalent on the job site anymore. We'll find more of the fastback style from Milwaukee or even DeWALT. Here's the deal though. Everybody's using these nowadays. I think it's time to evolve once again and find a new alternative that you might not know about. But you will right after this message from our sponsor, VCG Construction. Want to help out with the channel? Head on over to the merch store. You get hats, hoodies, t-shirts. Link will be in the description below. Look, here's the deal. This utility knife 20, 30 years ago was so cutting edge, it actually did have quick blade change. But the old timers were so disturbed by this style of knife. I don't know why. The one guy, he hated it so much, he called it the banana. After wanting to get rid of the banana, I started to adopt Milwaukee's fastback style of knife, and they served me really well. Matter of fact, I love that it had a blade clip. It could go into a pocket. I didn't always have to have my utility belt on if it wasn't necessary. They were just quick and effective. And a lot of people started to feel the same way. We've seen a wide adoption of this style of knife. So much so that other brands like DeWALT decided that, hey, we should probably have our own fastback style of knives, and they have gone on to bring to market their own. But here's the deal. How many of these knives do you see on the job? And how do you know that it's yours? Well, you could get the old pink spray paint and spray paint the knife so that everybody knows it's yours, but how many guys on the job site are using pink nowadays? Pretty much everybody, right? It's in vogue. Strike the pose. I have 4 Milwaukee fastback utility knife alternatives that you probably never heard of before. I'm really excited about them. I haven't opened them yet. I ordered these on Blade HQ. If you wanted to check these knives out, there will be a link down in the description for you to do so. I want to start out with the one everyone can see, and everyone will recognize the name for the most part if you're in the trades. This is a Gerber. This is their Prybrid utility multi-tool. So it's not just a knife, it has some other purposes to it. It's 8 tools in one. It's got exchangeable parts, it's got a slide lock, it's got a bottle opener, it's got the Gerber guarantee. You gotta see the back for that. The handle is G10. Now, why do I like that? It's a carbon fiber and it can be made to be very grippy. Listen, here's the deal. There's not a single construction or tool company that is using G10 for a handle or scales that I know of just yet. They're generally using this cheaper plastic. Here's the deal. One of my biggest problems with these utility knives is that my hands become very sweaty. I become very sweaty. This plastic becomes very slippery. So it's great to have something that is a little bit grippier. So full-size utility blade. It's got a cord cut notch, slide lock, it's got a lanyard hole, bottle opener, pry bar, large flat driver, small flat driver, nail puller, wire stripper. I'm excited to get it open. Okay, number 1, I love the feel of it. Now, we don't have a finger choil here, but this G10 scale, super, super grippy here. It has a positive stop. We don't have to worry about it deploying if it's in our pocket. And let's see. So we have a stop there. So it's either retracted or full deployment, which I'm fine with. Now, if we go all the way, it looks as though we have a quick blade change. You have to just lift up there on the retention. And then pop our blade back in. Once we've swapped the blade around, it was a little finicky getting it to retract. We actually needed to push down here, get it to that that positive full extension stop. We have our rope cutter slot. The slot will accommodate larger size rope. I like that a lot. It's definitely a viable alternative to one of these knives. Now the fastback deploys really quickly. I like that. We also have very quick deployment here. Just don't want to over deploy it. It's got some nice texture to that G10. There's multiple tools here. And the compelling part is that nobody else on the job is going to have this knife. At $24.95, 25 bucks, this is a viable solution. It's our first Milwaukee fastback alternative. Let's move on to our second alternative. These are I have two from Olight today. This is more similar to the Gerber style. It's a very tight form factor around that utility knife blade. This is their optical. Once again, it has a G10 scale. And a lot of you really love Olight for their flashlights. And this came across, I saw this, I was like, it's a name that I recognize. I love the orange, okay? Looks like a versatile little knife. Right away, the scale is one-sided. You can see we have steel on one side, and then we have G10, which is very grippy on the other side. On the rear, you can see that for deployment of the blade, we have two position lock here. We have locked and unlocked. We're able to deploy our blade. Now, different than the Gerber, the Olight Optical has a two-position blade. There's the first position for small cutting duties, maybe box opening. We have the second full deployment position, where if you were going to be doing more aggressive cutting. This also has a bottle opener here we can use. It's got a little hex drive here. Is good for number 8s, which is a very popular size, right? So if you did maintenance, maybe this is just one extra tool to help you be more efficient. This Olight also has a prying tool. It's not necessarily feature rich as the pry bar on the Gerber. The size is much more compact though for a full-size utility knife blade than the Gerber. Now, is that good or is that bad? I think that you have more real estate to hold onto here, plus you have double-sided G10. This, on the other hand, maybe you want to carry this in addition to an and, not an or utility knife. It's very visible. This would be great in a survival kit as well, or maybe if you're going out hunting, because for some reason, I find that a lot of people that go hunting, or maybe are survivalists, go out into the woods, they buy everything camo, right? Everything's camo or OD green. And next thing you know, they drop their knife on the ground and they're like, I can't find my knife anymore. This would be great because it would be highly visible in that setting. This Olight Optical looks very well built. It does have some of the features of its bigger counterpart over here. It's coming in quite a bit less expensive at $16.99. I really like the Optical. I'm probably going to put this in my pocket as an and to my EDC carry, because I don't want to have to touch up my super steel on this Shaman as much as I do. I have a replaceable blade in this Optical for when I'm cutting open cardboard boxes or cutting down cardboard boxes. I don't have to use my main EDC knife. I can use this knife, and it's not taking much more, it's not much more payload now. It's a lot lighter. I like this one a lot. I'm highly considering this knife as a new part of my loadout. Look at the size difference. Even the more compact fastback dwarfs the Optical in size. Dwarfs it. Let's move on to another Olight offering. This also takes a full-size utility knife blade, as well as has a G10 carbon fiber handle. They're saying that it's very well balanced, it looks, and its weight is 2.3 ounces. I'm gonna tell you, this is handsome. Very, very handsome. Wow. Wow, this is really, really nice. This is one of those, I'm telling you, this is one of those that people say it on the job site and they're gonna wanna know where you got it. Wow. Yo, here's the crazy part. What did Olight do? Look at the name on the blade. What is that? Why Work Pro? Now, the G10 scales, a little smooth. I like that there is G10 here. It's a more traditional deployment. It's just good looking. Plus, it's got that pocket clip. It's deep pocket concealment. You couldn't even tell that it's a knife. That knife is fully in my pocket. You can't even tell it's there. Could be a pen, could be a calculator, could be almost anything. Could be a flashlight. I do like the pocket clip. At the rear here, we do have a spot for a lanyard. So we have multiple ways we could deploy this very small and handy knife. We have our little retention toggle here. You could always use the thumb studs here. Really feels good in the hand. There is jimping here at the top. Blade change seems to be a little bit of a chore. You unscrew the blade holder, okay? And then what you do is, I guess you'd push up and pull out. To insert the blade, we're gonna pop it in and then push down. But you have to lift up on the blade, tilt out and pull out. You can actually leave that screw in place so it doesn't go flying away. If you have gloved hands, you're not gonna be able to easily change your blade, but it is a handsome knife. It has that quick deployment and retraction that I really like. We have the option of the thumb stud. The only thing is that changing that blade out can be somewhat cumbersome. The price comes in at $24.99. It's as handsome as a regular folding pocket knife. This does not scream utility knife at all. This screams like higher end pocket knife. I really like this. But now we get to the part of the video that is the reason that I've even made this video. I got an email from Blade HQ. This utility knife just caught my eye so much. I was like, wow, that thing looks really wicked. And it's in this box. I guess it's Civi's 10-year anniversary. Let's get this thing open. This is their Elementum utility, blue aluminum handle. It's stone washed, it says stainless steel blade holder, plain 6CR blade. We're gonna use our Olight. This is like an unboxing equivalent to Apple, if you ask me. This nice white box. We have a case, we have a holder. Now, here's the deal. Civi seems to have included some other goodies in this package. I do like the presentation. I think this is really nice. I like the cleaning cloth. They do have some replacement blades in here, as well as a replacement screw. I like that they include some extra parts. This does cost more than the other knives that are here. I really like the aluminum handles. Now, here's the deal. I know it's counterintuitive to what I said earlier about G10 and plastic, because this aluminum handle, although I believe would be more durable, could become slippery. It could become slippery. There's so many, it just looks so good, right? I like the deep pocket clip as well. It does a pretty good job of concealing what you're carrying. I don't know that it does as good a job as maybe the Olight, but it's pretty doggone good. This knife is definitely made for rapid deployment. Wow, wow. So we have a little plunger for retraction and possibly even deployment. So we have multiple ways we could deploy this knife. I will tell you though, like, the flipper is nice. It has some jimping here at the bottom and here at the top. Under the finger choil gives you a little grip there, and at the top gives you some grip there. I love the fit and finish of it. I gotta be totally honest with everybody here. I really, really, really love this knife, but I don't love this I even love the way that the deployment from the flipper actually feels. There's so much that I love, but as a daily driver, this right here is the deal breaker. I'm gonna need a separate tool to swap out this blade. Here's the other thing. That tool isn't included in this kit either. Does that make this a bad knife? It makes it bad if you're going to use it as an actual utility knife. It's definitely not a bad knife if you don't cut as aggressively with this knife as frequently. This Civivi with its case and all of the other, the additional blades and the spare screw in case you lose it, comes in at $42.50, which is double compared to the others. I love it. If I was going to replace my fastback with something here, it probably would be this Olight. I don't need any additional tools to change out the blade. It's a little bit of an upgrade. There's no mistaking my knife for someone else's knife on the job site. It's more compact. This would be the knife that I would replace my more traditional utility knife with. This is what I would go with. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out, taking a look at some of my new utility knives, and I hope to see you all on the next one. Thanks, everybody.